أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, sisters. Today we are doing Surah An-Naba, chapter 78, verse 18 from the Amma Para, Juz 30. This verse has 6 words. Okay, we'll just go through the words once. Yawma yunfakhu fi as-suri fattatuna afwajan. Let us start with the very first word, Yawma. Yawma comes from the root letters Ya, Waw, Mim. We can actually see the root letters in the word itself here, mashallah. So this Yawm, the root word, has been used 67 times in the Holy Quran, subhanallah. As we all know, Yawm means day, din, day. So here we also know that the word day by itself means a noun. Okay, so this is an ism, it's a noun, and it means day. The next word, yunfakhu. Over here we'll separate the ya from the other 3 letters. Okay, this ya is part and parcel of the yatan that we have learnt before. I'll just do a quick revision of that. Yatan, that has the ya, the ta, the hamza, the noon. Okay, if any verb starts with a ya, we know this is imperfect tense. Okay, what does imperfect tense means? In Arabic it's called fe'le muzare, which means imperfect tense. It can mean either future tense or present tense. In Arabic, we have either past tense or we have future and present together. Not like the English language where we have a past tense, a future tense and present tense. Over here, future and present together. That is why it is imperfect. We cannot say whether it is future or present. That's why it is an imperfect tense. Okay. So now, if the word starts with a ya, it means he. It also means it, because in the Arabic language every word has a gender. Okay, not like English where we have a neutral gender, which is it. Okay, in Arabic it's either a he or a she. There is no it. Okay, so when I'm saying ya, it in English it means it, but in Arabic it has a gender. Okay, so wo or he, it. Ta means you. Hamza, if a word starts with Hamza, it means I, and Noon stands for we. Now over here there's a slight difference. If you notice the word, it does not have a fatha. The ya has a dhamma. Now when a ya has a dhamma, it shows passive tense. Okay, passive voice. This is not an active voice. Active voice will have a fatha. Over here, since it's a dhamma, we know it's passive. Now again, it is very different from the English language. Let me take this example itself. Over here, the root words are noon, fa, of, together means to blow. This root word has been used 24 times in the Quran. Okay, this combination. If you see here, the ya has a dhamma and the fa has a fatha. So this combination together shows majhul or passive voice. We say it is passive. The meaning itself changes. Now if I would have a fatah on the ya, it would mean he is blowing or he will blow. Okay, so if I have a ya with a fatah, it means he will blow. Okay, but since it has a dhamma or a pesh, this means he will be blown. It is very different from what we have learned in English. So you need to pay attention to it. So in the passive voice, for example, I'll give you another example. Yaqtulu. Yaqtulu means he will kill. Over here, there is a fatah. Now, if I replace the fatah with a dhamma and the next letter with a fatah, okay, so again, the yaqtulu will become yuktalu. Not yuktulu, it will become yuktalu, which means he will be killed. Just imagine, he will kill becomes he will be killed. So the same way, instead of it will blow or he will blow, here it becomes it will be blown. So the day it will be blown. Okay, the next word is fi. Fi is a harfe jar, which means a preposition. Fi is used a number of times in the Quran, and it will become so common that the moment you see a fi, you know it will mean in. Okay, so in the day it will be blown in. Okay, what is going to be blown? The next word. The next word, as-suri. Now as-suri, we know al is the definite article, the. Okay, we know anything common becomes specific with an al. Okay, that is called marfa. So over here, this is an ism. How do we know this is an ism? Because of the al. Okay, so this is an ism. The root words are sod, wow, ro. Again, these words are open, they're right in front of us, so it's easy for us. This root word has been used 23 times in the Quran, and sur means trumpet. Okay, so over here Allah is talking about the trumpet. Okay, now if you just do a little bit of observation, fi is a preposition. Any word that comes after the preposition will always take a kasra. That is why over here it will either take a kasra or a kasratain. That means a double kasra. Okay, so over here instead of surun or suru or suro, it is suri, and the e or the kasra is only because of the harfe jar. Okay, so I hope you have understood what I'm trying to say. So fi, fissuri. If I read it together, it becomes fissuri, and the ro has a kasra because of harfe jar. Okay, so the day it will be blown in trumpet. Okay, let us put this together so that it makes sense. The day in which the trumpet shall be blown. Okay, when we separate out, it's not making sense. So while reading it, it means the day in which the trumpet shall be blown. Okay, let's get to the other word. Fattatuna. We will have to separate the words over here. Okay, the fa is separate. The fa is a harfe ataf. We have already done a harfe ataf, very commonly used. Yes, wow. Okay, which is a conjunction. So over here also the harfe ataf fa with the fatah is a harfe ataf, and it means then. Okay, so then Then ta'tuna. Let us separate the ta. This ta is a part of the yatan. So again, yatan, the ta signifies you. Okay, so then you, let us take the ending word. Okay, the ending is una. Okay, like tuna, so separate it. Una. We've done this before also. Ina, una. Okay, so una signifies plural. Okay, so see, the you that we are talking about is actually plural. So it is you all. Okay, so you all. Now let us get to the middle word. The middle word that we can see here is only a hamza and a ta. But aren't all words supposed to be 3 or 4 root words? Well, there is a root word that is hidden, that we cannot see. Okay, so the root words here are hamza, ta and ya. Okay, well, what happened to the ya? This ya is a harfe illat. What does illat mean? Weak. So this is a weak letter. Now see, when you're surrounded by so many strong people, you're hardly going to be seen. So these weak letters are the same. They disappear in the crowd. They disappear with all these strong letters. Okay, there are 3 weak letters in the Arabic language. It's hamza, waw and ya. Now these weak letters, they get along with each other very well. So well that they are ready to exchange their places. So maybe the root letter will have a ya, but in the word that we are reading, you will see a hamza or a waw. The same way, they take each other's places. And sometimes when they can't take each other's places, they fall out. Just like it has happened here. The ya couldn't make place for itself. And because it's weak, it had to give way. So the ya is actually there, but when we are writing it, it is gone. It has disappeared because it is weak. So this root letter, the root letters are hamza, ta, ya. These root letters are mentioned in the Quran. They are used in the Quran 699 times, subhanallah. And what does it mean? It means to come. So, you all will come. You will come forth or you will come forward. You will come ahead. Okay. So, let us start again. The day it will be blown in the trumpet, you all will come forth. Okay. So, to make sense, I read it again. The day, the day in which the trumpet will be blown, you will come forth. Okay. Then you will come forth. Okay, we can even use the word and for then. Okay, so either and you will come forth or then you will come forth. Afwajan. Does a bell ring in your mind when I say jan? There's a double fatha. So does it signify something? Yes. It means an ism. So the last word is an ism. Any word that ends with a fattatain or a fattah, a double fattah or a single fattah, it is a noun or an ism. Okay, the root words are fa, waw, jim, fauj. This root word has been used 5 times in the Quran and it means in large crowds. Matlab, lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of people. Infinite people, lots of them, fully crowded, lots and lots of crowds. Okay, so let me read the whole thing again. The day in which the trumpet shall be blown, then you will come forth in crowds. You're going to come forth in crowds. Okay, so this is the lesson for today. Jazakumullahu khairan kasiran kasira. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.